In this video, I'm gonna share with you 3 things you have to do in your 20s, non-negotiable, in order to get rich. Now, these secrets come straight from a billionaire I was mentored by that not many people really get access to. And the foundation for these 3 things kind of go in sync. It goes step 1, it goes step 2, and it goes step 3. And you can't do step 3 without doing step 2, without doing step 1. Now, the first thing you have to do if you're in your 20s is you have to start a business, or you have to develop a really high-paying skill. If you're not an entrepreneur, no big deal. You can make a lot of money working for someone else as long as you have the right skill set. A few of my favorite high-paying skills that I think work in today's world right now is for sure learning how to sell. You can join someone else's organization and do sales and make $500, $1 million, $2 million a year working for someone else. I know people that make way more money than me that work for someone else just because they're in sales. Now, there's a bunch of high-paying skills out there, which is not the point of this video, but I want to tell you that is part of step 1. Develop that high-paying skill. And that can mean starting a business. Starting a business is a high-paying skill. I'd say it's definitely harder than working for someone else, but it's more rewarding in the long term because you are your own boss and you get to control your income ultimately. And to give you a personal story, I started my own business first, then I went to work for someone else and worked in sales for 2 years, and then quit that job and continued running my business and growing my business year over year until we're doing $3, $4, $5 million for this year. So that's the natural path. If you have to go work for someone first in order to start your business later, that is totally acceptable. But the first thing is start your business, develop a high-paying skill, and get really good at making income. $500,000, $1 million, $2 million, $5 million a year of income. That is step number 1. And by the way, the kind of rich I'm mentioning in the title is not rich like, hey, I'm worth 5 million. I'm talking about getting to $100 million plus of net worth. So if that's you, keep on watching this video. If it's not, hop off right now. Step number 2 in the 3-part plan is once you started making money in a business or a high-paying job, is you have to start saving that money and not blow it like a dumbass. There's a lot of people who start making money and immediately expect a lifestyle change. They buy a super fancy car, they buy the watches, they buy the clothes, they start clubbing, they go to dinner every single night. Not saying that stuff is bad, because I do think you should spend your money once you're making more money and to live a better life, but you can't go crazy and blow all your money, because eventually one day in the future, that income from that business or that high paying skill is gonna stop, or it's gonna get interrupted at some point. So what you have to do in step number 2 is save that money, put aside a certain percentage every single month in order to get ready for step number 3. The third thing you have to do is invest in cash flowing real estate. Let me paint this bigger picture for you. Once you're making a lot of money, let's just use $1 million a year as a lot of money. You're saving $800,000 of that $1 million. Now you could take that $800,000 and go buy $2.5 million worth of real estate. And that could be in single family homes with Airbnb. It could be in multifamily. It could be in warehousing. It could be in any type of real estate that produces monthly cash flow. And typically, based on conservative returns, for every $1 million that you invest in real estate, that should bring you about $60,000 a year of positive cash flow. And that's at a pretty conservative rate of just 6%. Now let's put that all into perspective and paint out the picture of getting rich, right? If you can invest $1 million a year or $1 million every few years, and eventually you have $10 million in positive cash flowing real estate, that's $50,000 a month in positive cash flow that's coming in basically without you lifting a finger. So when your big source of income, your business or your high-paying skill gets interrupted, which it eventually will, you're gonna have that stack of cash flow of 50 racks coming in every single month. And at that point, along the way, you could buy the fancy cars, the house, the shoes, whatever, but that's how you actually get rich and live with peace of mind and build wealth for the future. Because that 10 million is going to turn into 20, it's going to turn to 30, it's going to turn into $50 million over time from appreciation. But meanwhile, you're collecting cash flow along the way. Those 3 steps is what's known as the wealth creation formula, which I personally learned from a billionaire and which is what I'm implementing in my life today. I started my business, I'm saving my money, I have invested in cash flow. Now I just have to repeat the process over the next 10 years to be worth $100 million by the time I'm 30, 40 years old. Now, if you are the entrepreneur type like myself, go look at my channels. I have a bunch of videos teaching you how to make money, whether it's through e-commerce, drop shipping, side hustles, whatever it is. Just go look at my videos, subscribe for more, and start learning these high paying skills to start increasing your income, because that's the first thing you have to do in your 20s. And if you're in your 20s watching this video, that's exactly what you have to focus on, is get those skills in line or go start your business and start making money. I hope you guys got some tremendous value out of this video. Comment something below that's super motivating for other people in their 20s watching this video. But if not, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.